I would say there are three categories of things that will be front and center in those first days. It's difficult even to narrow it down to those categories because so many things will require attention, but here's where I'll be concentrating our efforts. First, the unglamorous issue of democracy and the issue of how we deal with every other issues. You look at the reforms proposed in H.R. 1 that deserve immediate attention, but also longer-term reforms to make sure that we're dealing with the role of money in politics, that we're dealing with districts drawn by politicians picking out their voters instead of the other way around. That we have free and fair elections, moving toward a 21st Century Voting Rights Act where the kind of voter suppression that we're seeing, especially but not only in the South, cannot stand. These are imperative because that will affect every future decision this country makes about every issue. So that's one category. Another is climate. Time is up. The IPCC says we have until 2030 to make big changes if we want to head off catastrophe in our lifetimes. Now, if the scientific deadline is 2030, that means the real deadline is 2020. Because we don't have a president who believes in climate science, we're never going to hit those timelines. And part of what I'll be working to do is to create the sense of a national project to deal with climate. This can't be one more partisan issue. It's too big. It's too important. But for that to work, everybody needs to see where they fit in, from an auto worker who lives in my neighborhood to a farmer. Each of whom actually can play a very important role and benefit by it if we set up our approach to climate in the right way. So it's not just about rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, although that's on my day one list, especially because the deadline will be right around then. It's about making sure that we lay out the terms for a national mobilization of the American people that transcends politics and where everybody sees how they fit. So climate is a category, and then racial and economic inequality in this country. It has reached proportions that are unsustainable. It has gotten worse in many regards. We have now reached the point where the gross domestic product is going up and life expectancy is going down at the same time. That shouldn't even be possible. It shows you that we're measuring the wrong things. So from day one, we're going to measure our economic performance by the income growth of the 90%, not the Dow Jones, not the GDP. Measures that help us understand whether economic growth is actually benefiting those who have been excluded in the past. And it's why, whether we're talking about the measures for dealing with racial inequality in our economy that are in the Douglas Plan, or whether we're talking about empowering organized labor and lifting wages beginning with the minimum wage, we've got to get to work right away. Because if our country continues on the trajectory that we're on, it will not only continue to lead to misery for a lot of people and struggle for so many people, but I think it also tears at the fabric of the country.